Hello, my friend. Hey, thanks for coming and joining me. You know, I've been reading a few stories now for the last little while, and I thought, you know what? I haven't read any of my stories, so I found them on the bookshelf. These are my first ever stories. There's Suzy the Farmer, Suzy the Doctor, Suzy the Scuba Diver, and Suzy the Police Officer. They were written a few years ago, 1998 and 1999. Suzy the Farmer is up on YouTube already. We have this on the channel with only my voice reading it, without me reading it like this. Maybe I'll read that again soon, but how about we start with a different one this time? Maybe one from 1998, when this young lady wrote the story. That's me. All those years ago in 1998. Would you like a story? Would you like Suzy the Police Officer? And yes, this is me. Probably about your age. Vroom, vroom went the diggers in the sandpit. Chugga chugga went the trucks, pulling their heavy loads. Brum, brum went the tractor, ploughing the paddock. And the cars went beep, beep as they drove along the road. Suzy was very busy keeping all her toy vehicles moving. Do you do this with your toy vehicles? Keep them moving along the road? Hey, what's that digger doing in the middle of the road? Those racing cars should be on the track. The cars are going too fast. There's going to be an accident. We say a crash these days. Oh no, what a mess. They are in a bit of a jumble, aren't they? Right, said Suzy, I'd better find a police officer. And she dashed inside to the dress-up box. A long fluffy scarf? No. A beak with some feathers? No. Ah, here it is, my officer's hat. Suzy the police officer drove her patrol car with its sirens wailing and lights flashing. She got to work putting everything back into the right places. Diggers in the sandpit, tractor on the farm, racing cars on the racetrack, trucks and cars safely on the road. Then she directed the traffic. Stop, she said to a row of cars. It's the trucks turned across the intersection. She waved her white glove at the truck laden with building blocks. Can you see the truck? Here it is here. And here's her white glove saying, stop. Excuse me, madam, have you got your seatbelt on? She asked Mrs. Ruru the owl. Click went the seatbelt, and Mrs. Ruru waved a wing as she bumped away. There's something strange about that car, thought Suzy. Have a look at the car. What's strange about that car, do you think? Officer Suzy could hear someone crying. I can't find my mum, wept a little boy. Suzy asked him his name, his address, and his phone number. Let's look for her together, she said, and they both hunted around the park until they found Mrs. Bear. Can you see Mrs. Bear? Have a look. Officer Suzy looked around her. The traffic was driving carefully. The diggers were busy in the sandpit. The racing cars were roaring around the track. Everyone was driving well. except perhaps Mrs. Ruru. She was having trouble with her car again. What was wrong? Can you see what's wrong with Mrs. Ruru's car? Then it was time for the school visit. Officer Suzy sat at the front of the classroom. They talked about crossing the road safely and wearing their helmets when they rode their bikes. She asked the children if they all knew their addresses and phone numbers in case they got lost. Then they went outside to the pedestrian crossing. They stopped, looked, and listened. And when the road was clear, they walked across, being careful not to run. There's lots of them walking across the crossing, isn't there? As Officer Suzy drove away, she made the sirens wail and the lights flash. It had been a very busy day. Police Officer Suzy was tired and hungry now. It was time to take the dress-ups off and tidy the garden. She had visited a school, helped a lost child, and checked that seatbelts clicked. She had even made sure that the cars, trucks, tractor and diggers were all where they were meant to be. Hadn't she? What's going on here? Uh-oh. The end. And in the back of the book, there are some activities for you to try. You could make your own truck or your car. I used to make them out of cereal boxes. Have you tried that before? Maybe you could do that. I've used milk bottle tops for the tyres on this vehicle. You could make a police uniform using fabric paints and an old t-shirt. And do you know your name, address and your telephone number? Maybe somebody could help you write that down so you can remember it. It's really important to know. Well, that's the end of the story. Something very special about this story. The illustrator, Errol McCleary, helped me do something clever. Inside the pages, you'll find a cheeky little critter called a caterpillar. It's a caterpillar, but it's called a caterpillar. And when you look through the pages, you'll find this cheeky critter hiding. Maybe somebody in your family has a copy of this book. Maybe you can find it in the library. Or you can find it on my shop, suzy.co.nz. And you can find me reading another story very soon, right here. Maybe it will be one of these. Hey, thanks for joining me. Come and join me again soon. Ka kite anō.